What's up, party people, and welcome back to the Beyond Network. Today we're going to be discussing TENET. That's Christopher Nolan's latest blockbuster, because thankfully, even despite COVID, it has released today in the UK and some markets abroad, things like that. Not really going to have a script for this one. Haven't got a full review written, but it's just going to be my review of said film. Having seen it 3 hours ago, maybe 3 hours ago. Yeah, this is going to be spoiler free, just to let you all know. I'm not going to delve into spoilers. I can do that in a separate video, but yeah, this one is going to be spoiler free because with almost all of Nolan's films, you don't want to know what's going on. The trailers don't reveal it, so why would I want to reveal it, So, won't be delving into spoilers, just talking about the film, how good it was, that sort of thing. Yeah. So TENET, there's not a lot I can say without spoiling it. Obviously, if you've seen the trailers, if you haven't seen the trailers, obviously just back out now. Well, actually, if you haven't seen the trailers, just go and watch the film. Simple as, like all of Christopher Nolan's films, definitely try and see it in the cinema. So moving on from that, if you have seen the trailers, which I'm assuming most of you have if you're watching beyond this point, it's John David Washington, who you might know from BlacKkKlansman, and Robert Pattinson from, obviously, Twilight is what most people know him from. He's obviously our new Batman, which if you haven't seen the trailer, check that out as well because that's mad. He's also in Good Time, which you should check out on Netflix if it's available in your country because he's great in that. There's a lot of his indie stuff. The Lighthouse as well. He was in that last year. He's great. But anyway, so I believe it's Elizabeth Debicki as well as in it, and Kenneth Branagh, probably the main, characters that you have within that. It's basically, it's a really good film. It's a really good film. Of course, it's Christopher Nolan. He's one of the few directors you can probably still call a visionary because almost everything he does film-wise, progresses film as a whole and its technology. Tenet is no different. The cinematography, the way it's shot is obviously, I can't go into it too much. It's to do with time travel, as you'll know from the trailers, and they're trying to effectively prevent, not World War III, she says in the trailer, they're like something worse. Is what they're trying to prevent. So, yeah. I'm not going to say what the something worse is, or who the villain is, or what's going on, because I can't. But it's a really great movie. It's shot incredibly well. The story is great. I don't think it's going to be that confusing for people. I was able to work one thing out, which I'm pretty proud of. I won't say what, but I was. I whispered it. I whispered it to my dad just to make sure that, I wasn't just bullshitting at the end of the film, But, yeah, it's really good. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of it just is not revealed in the trailers, which is great. Maybe the entire, I don't know. I won't even say because then you'll know which part of the film the trailers come from. But I will also say this film has one of the, just in my opinion, one of the best film opening. The opening to this film is so great. It's really great. I loved the opening. Just kind of just in there, man. It's great. Yeah. I think I'm definitely going to watch it twice. Just because of the kind of film it is, a bit like Inception-y, with it's time bending. It's a time bending masterpiece. Anything time travel, I just love it. So this was just, I'm there for me, and it's to do with time and that sort of thing. I understand. Obviously, some people said one of the quotes they keep using in the trailer is it's bombed on acid. I can kind of see that because obviously it's to do with secret organisations and things. But yeah, you'll see where obviously Tenet, why it's called Tenet as well. You'll. That is in the film, so I'm just called that for no reason. But it's a damn good movie. Me and the parents really, really enjoyed it. It looks great. The sound is phenomenal. Once you see particular scenes, just the sound design is, they must have done so much on the sound design on this. You'll see why, but the sound design is ridiculous. Soundtrack's really great. It's by my boy Ludwig Göransson. You probably have heard his work. You might not know his name. He did the Black Panther soundtrack, so he really knows how to mix a lot of different sounds. He's a bit of a savant, really, because obviously with Black Panther he was mixing tribal music alongside with hip-hop beats and all sorts. He's really one of my favourite composers at the moment. So it's Ludwig Göransson. He did Black Panther and The Mandalorian as well, which is obviously quite a different sound for Star Wars. But yeah, he did the music for this, and the soundtrack to this is for me, it's up there, because before I went into it, I didn't know who was doing the score. I thought Nolan might have partnered with Zimmer again. But yeah, so it's Göransson for the soundtrack, which is a great choice. Soundtrack is awesome. The film is awesome. I can safely say it is a film that you haven't seen anything like it before. Like most of Nolan's films. Like Inception, like Interstellar. You know, the Dark Knight trilogy was different to all the other Batman films. Just, yeah, you haven't seen anything like it before. That's a fact. It's just completely different. When the actors were saying, obviously, it's pushing filmmaking forward, I can definitely see that. The way things are done. It's one of those films where, obviously, you don't want the illusion to be broken, but I would love to see behind the scenes on how they did some of the shots and the parts of this film, because it is ridiculous. Like, man, just thinking about some of the stuff that happens, that goes down, it's just so cool. It's so cool. You have to see this movie. Like, luckily my cinema is nice and open. It's socially distanced now. You have to wear a mask when you're walking around, getting tickets, getting snacks, and once you're in the screen, they've blocked out every other row, and you have to have 2 seats between you and another party. So, like, the distancing is great. Like, I feel very safe. I'm just lucky that, I mean, a lot of cinemas in the UK now should be open. America is really shafted by COVID at the moment, so I don't know how well you guys are going to do. But if you can see Tenet in the cinema, definitely, I recommend. That's probably the majority of this review is going to see this film. It's really great. Cinematography, the performances, so good. I think, like most of Nolan's other films, it's going to be Oscar nominated, especially for visual effects. Maybe practical effects as well, to be honest, but visual effects, definitely it's going to be nominated. If it's not, something's wrong. As well as, I think, Best Director, probably Best Picture as well, just because it's completely different, it's something new. I think most people will be going in with high expectations because of the hype around it, and it's become kind of the lockdown film, you know, the one that couldn't release, that everyone was looking forward to. It's Nolan's next, you know, blockbuster. So I feel like expectations were very high. I would say it definitely met my expectations. Recently, my cinema has been showing. Yesterday, I spent all day at the cinema watching the Dark Knight trilogy, and we watched Inception 10th anniversary last weekend. So I've kind of been on a bit of a Nolan hype, but it's definitely equal to, if not exceeding, his current work. As always, the man just can crank out just consistent blockbusters that push the film industry and filmmaking forward. Don't know how he does it. You know, I'm looking forward to his next project already. But yeah, see this film. It's so good. Performances are really great. I think John David Washington and Robert Pattinson's like on-screen chemistry, they're just great as a duo. Yeah, I'd gladly watch the two of them in future projects. You know, I'm not saying there's going to be like a Tenet 2, but like just the two of them together were just a really great pair to watch on screen. Just enjoyable throughout. It's very slick. Yeah, it's very slick. All the performances are great. I mean, I wouldn't say it's hard to follow either. Like, I know people who had to make notes during Inception. I mean, if you had to make notes during Inception, then maybe you might struggle with this one. But yeah, I think you'll be able to follow it. There's certain things that, like, the pen will drop as you go along. You know, it's a bit mind-bending for yourself, I guess, but time-bending for them. And it's just, yeah, it's very, very cool how they handle time. It's really, really cool how they're doing this. It's a really interesting concept, just the way they do it in this. I won't go into any more than that. Basically, if I had to give it a number, because people really like arbitrary numbers, then yeah, I mean, even plot-wise, time travel can get messy. I'm gonna have to give it. It's a solid. Let's put it up here. We'll give it a solid 8 out of 10, maybe a 9. It's really good. Yeah, it's equal to his other, you know, filmmaking achievements, and it does something completely new. And I'm looking forward to seeing it again, hopefully with friends, just because I want to see their reaction. Just, yeah, go out, watch Tenet. It's gone in the cinema for a while now, came out today, so go and see it. I think you'll really, really enjoy it. If you enjoyed any of his other things, any of his other projects, I think especially maybe Inception is maybe the one that you could compare this to the most, like in kind of slight similarity. But if you enjoyed Inception, 100% go and see Tenet, because you'll really enjoy it. And just, it's got a great opening, great story throughout, doesn't really slow down, the pacing's really great, really, really great. You're never bored at any point. Everything, you know, that's said or done progresses the story. It doesn't really get confusing. Like, it's just, yeah, it's just great. It's just a really well done film. So go out, watch Tenet, enjoy it, and if you've already seen it, or when you do see it, Let me know what you thought in the comments below. And hey, there's hopefully some more films, new films coming out soonish, now that cinemas are kind of back to normal. But for, new films that are probably going to be releasing digitally, we've got The Devil All the Time coming out in the next few weeks on Netflix. So for more reviews, previews, all that good stuff for film and TV, keep it locked on the Beyond Network, and I'll see you all next time.